Hey, this is the Sunday night chat here. Gonna be a little different than normal. I wasn't even gonna get one to you. Just a quick preamble here for this. I'm gonna show you some stuff I did this morning because I cut this whole tree down. I'm not done with it because I was just all day with my nephew, and then went to visit my niece and her kid. And let me get on to that. Don't go anywhere. It's not over. All with that. All right, well, that's done. This part here, I got to chop that up a little bit. My niece wanted a cat climb for their apartment where they live. So I think what I'll do is I'll take one of these longer ones that have some good splits. Maybe this one here even. And I could put a couple decks on it, cut it to about 8 feet, a little over. They could wedge it into their apartment, floor to ceiling. And then the cat will have something to climb on. You'll see that when I do it. I could do that on this trip. I got to get that stump out of here, and I got to dig that out. Part of the issue always was, I don't know if I could show this to you because this tree's in the way, but it's a little offline. You'll see that that stump, it actually comes into the gate opening a little bit, and I like to, look, the idea here is eventually I'll be here working, and I'll be working on the van or whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to form up here, and I'm going to put 2 rows that are wide of concrete from the gate, track width apart to this piece of concrete here, and then from this concrete back, there'll be a track here and then a track here, and I'll be able to drive the van right back here in the yard if I want to work on it or do something fun or test out gear in the van. I can come back here, open the side door, it looks cool, and it'll be fun. And so that needs to be out of there. And then I have to think about the layout of this yard. And I noticed, and I decided to make this part of the Sunday night chat, which you're not going to get that tonight. If you're watching this, you're probably watching this Monday because I'm going to put some nighttime video on this. This here was always here. I thought it was just some water thing they had at one time. And they had a bridge there. I rebuilt that one there for my mom. Back in the day, she asked me to do that. And then I looked in this yard over here. This goes all the way to here. By the way, this here is a pomegranate tree that somebody cut all the way down to the ground. It's all scraggly. Nobody knew what it was. My mom thought it was a, sorry, the mic's not turning around, but my mom thought this was like some kind of pear tree. It turned out it's a pomegranate tree. So I got to scrape the bark off of a bunch of these limbs and then get them super tight, and then they'll merge themselves together. Something's flying on me. And then that'll all get together. Look, there's a bird's nest in here too. Kind of cool. Anyhow, what I was about to show you in this yard here is that this, I can't, oh yeah, I can see here. So you see they got it here too. Sorry, the mic wasn't spun around, but what I think is going on is I think this is like for water. If, I could tell that this yard slopes down in this direction, and we get some pretty hard rain here. So that's probably what's going on. So I'm going to want to leave that trench. Now it doesn't have to look like that. So I'm going to pull those stones out, and then all this gravel stone in here, I'm going to pile it in there and make it kind of level. And I can still plant in there if I want. So I just have to make a decision about how I'm going to lay things out, because this here is probably going to come down to, because everything back here is going to be all about producing food. So I might put another mulberry tree back in here. And I want an area right here. There's going to be grass right here, like a patch of grass to work out on and relax and get some sun. So trees will be back that way. There's going to be a break here because the sun comes up through here and here, sets back over there. So I have to think about my sunlight, where I want to plant things, where I want to do stuff. You know, it's common sense stuff. But there's going to be at least one decent tree back here with something. And then other stuff and blueberries and, you know, all that good stuff. It's going to be cool. So stick around. It's not over. All right, so you see all that. This is going to have to be a short one. Normally in Los Angeles, I'm alone. So my time is my own and it's easy. Like I could just set up with you guys and do it. And I anticipated on having a fire tonight and filming that. And then you probably wouldn't get to chat until tomorrow sometime. But I gotta just say this is a short video today. I'm going to talk to you real quick about yesterday. I went to Bisbee. I've got a friend from Los Angeles, Kevin, who's him and his girl, Gretchen. They own a restaurant in Bisbee, and they own a bunch of properties there and all that. So I haven't seen them in years. This was people I knew back when I was riding around with the Cretans in Los Angeles. It's a motorcycle group. And yeah, I separated myself from that life at some point. You know, I had a bunch of accidents and that contributed to it, and some of the people around didn't want to really be around it. Anyhow, I'd heard that Kevin and Gretchen had moved there recently. So I reached out to him and said, hey, dude, next time I'm in town, so boom. So before I leave, hopefully you guys will see a video with me with them. And showing off the restaurant and saying hi to them, maybe doing a little interview with Gretchen and Kevin. I think that'd be fun for you guys. I think you guys get a kick out of it. If you're down in this area, if you've never been to Bisbee, you have to go to Bisbee. It's this mountain town, man. It has weirdly, it reminds me of New York City in a weird way. There's a lot of old brick buildings, you know, built around 1900. So late 19th century, early 20th century. There's a lot of these weird alleys and stairways that go up in these buildings built into the side of mountains that are, it's really cool. And so talking to Kevin yesterday was awesome, catching up. Then he took me around town and he introduced me to a guy named Mike. He owns East Coast Construction. He's from Jersey City, New Jersey. I meet him. Kevin tells him, hey, he's from Jersey. He goes, what exit? 82B. Knew it right away, and it was great talking to him. Kevin introduced me as a, you know, master craftsman, which I am. Actually, I did you know what, I'll do a picture folder on it for you, or a video. I did a picture folder years ago. I built a really nice maple ladder for Kevin's sister 20-something years ago. And it was funny because I was just looking at it last week, the picture folder. Anyhow, so he was explaining what I do, and the guy offered me a job right then and there. He wanted me to start working in Bisbee tomorrow. Of course, money wasn't discussed and all that. And I said, no, I've got to get back to Los Angeles and get these jobs done. So next time I'm here, you know, I'm going to send him an email with all my contact information and some pictures and maybe a couple video links and let him know what I do. I am not wanting to work for somebody like a contractor. I don't want to do that. He needs a guy like me. Everybody does. You need a guy like me. You know what? Maybe I can set this up on this wall here. There's a funny noise in the background. It's the dryer. My nephew was over here. I don't know if I could do this. There we go. I can't see me, remember? I'm probably going to fall. I'm going to sit here and talk to you like this. It's a kooky angle, right? Maybe this will work. Oh no, it's not going to work. It's going to work. How used to this are you guys now? I'm just going to stand here and look up and get a crick in my neck talking to you. So, money wasn't discussed. I don't know what they pay people here. It's not going to be what I normally make. So I don't know about it. I'll talk to him. The idea of maybe doing a job for a week or a month. There was a fire in Bisbee that burnt out some of these old buildings, and he's the guy who's redoing them. So he had a whole discussion with me yesterday. He's like, it's been drywall. I need a guy now, this week, to come in and start doing trim. He doesn't have anybody to come in and do the trim work. And I'm really good at that. I mean, you know. So as filler work from time to time, I could do that. It's crazy, but it was such a good thing. And Kevin pointed out to me, he goes, dude, you're meeting the best people here right now. So his wife, Gretchen, ran for mayor last time of Bisbee, and apparently she wants to run again. So we'll probably talk about that when I interview them. But as I said, they own a bunch of homes there and other properties, and he's introducing me to the people who own a bunch of properties in Bisbee. The point I'm making is it's 35 minutes away. Easy drive. It's mile high, Bisbee. It's a mile high, so it's up in the mountain there. And that's not a bad commute if I had to do a job there for a month or something. And I could be here right now. If I wanted to just move here right now, I could be getting work if that's what I want to do. But what I really want to do, as you saw in the last video, is get some sort of woodworking shop going here. My sister understands. She's going to get a storage unit, get all the stuff out of here, and hopefully she'll get that done before I come back in the next few weeks. And establish myself here. I'll be working on the house, and from time to time I'll do a furniture project. Everything's up in the air right now because I still have work in Los Angeles that I have to do. So got to get back there, do a bunch of stuff there, make money there, go back and forth, and just see how things pan out. There's a lot of animal life here. You're going to hear a lot of weird animals in the background. After I send my contact information to this guy Mike of East Coast Construction, and he sees what I'm capable of. Oh, I got birds here in a bird's nest in the porch. We'll see if I can show that to you. Maybe what'll happen is if he offers me a gig that I can't say no to in the next couple months, maybe what'll happen is I will come out here and work. I'm not opposed to it. So for those of you who have been on my case about moving out here, and you're not wrong. And up until this very moment, I wasn't sure about it. But now I've been introduced to some of the better people to be talking to about the possibility of doing some work. So this is exciting. This is very, very, very exciting. A whole new chapter is going to be opening up. In the meantime, I got to work on this yard. There's a ton of work to do here, cutting stuff down. I got to get all the stuff cut down, get some of this yard set up, laid out, so that in the spring I can start putting trees in here that are going to produce food. And that's going to happen. Let me show you what I did here. Let's check this out here. I'm going to arrange this camera for you here. Let me turn the mic around. All right, so right here you see these sticks basically with these stumps on them. And I'm going to carve these into kind of like shillelaghs or war clubs. And that's going to be cool. And this was a fruit tree. As I said, this was a Chinese mulberry tree. So I got a lot to do here. And then one of these limbs, I got to cut to about 8 feet, shave off all the little stuff, and I'm going to create a cat climb. I'm going to put a little piece of plywood on the bottom, a little piece of plywood at the top, and then you'll be able to pressure wedge that in. And I'm going to get that to my 9-year-old niece at the apartment with her and my sister for their cat. And maybe we'll put a couple decks with some plywood on it for the cat to rest on. So that'll be pretty cool. So that's exciting. And yeah, so I guess that's about it. Just got spun around on me. What am I? What am I? Repeat after me. You're so pro. I'm so pro. Anyhow, that's it. This is a very, very short video for you today. I apologize. It's almost 5. I got to go in the house, clean up, close my eyes for a couple minutes. I got to take a shower and everything. And then I got to go meet a pal of mine out here. There's a guy I made the pedestal table for, Andrew. He's an attorney here in Sierra Vista. So I got to pick up my nephew and then meet him at the steak joint. You know, Andrew makes his own beer. So he's got some beer for me to try. He made Guinness this time. I guess it's a beer club or something. So he's got some beer for me. So we're going to do that and then have a good night tonight. And then tomorrow, I think my niece is going to be here. My sister asked me to pick this thing up at my other niece's house. And I just ground off these things because they were standing up. And so my niece will be here tomorrow with me, jumping up and down while I clear out the rest of these trees and make a stack of wood and do everything else I got to do. Oh my God. And I'm hoping to get some alone time. I also have a couple flashlights I have to review while I'm here. And again, and then of course New Year's Eve is a couple days away. I forgot to leave a rent check, so I might have said this already, but I gotta go get an envelope and a stamp tomorrow. Call my manager, get a rent check to him, so I could stay a couple extra days at least. And my plan is to have the fire pit kind of going and have a fire going, do a nighttime thing for you. And on the 3rd, I have to do a video for the one of the cigar humidors. They want me to put that out on January 3rd. So I'll do a little fireside chat for you guys. Part of that will be part of it that I'll also clip out and add to that video. The life of a YouTuber now. I can't believe this has become what I'm doing. It is kind of ridiculous, but it's fun. I appreciate you guys being here and being kind of you're all a part of it. You're watching this happen. You're watching this grow. It's pretty stinking cool. So all this rock is going to come out. I'm going to stack it all over here for now, and then I'm going to, right here, in that area, I'm going to get some cement. I don't think I'll do it on this trip, but I might. I'm going to take a lot of this rock, and I'm going to build a fire pit right there. A nice one, you know, that I could put a grill on the top of and cook out of. I'll have a couple little holes on the bottom for airflow. You know, I know what I'm doing. You'll see it. It's a real rudimentary thing, easy thing that I can knock out with a sledgehammer if I want to get rid of it. Nothing crazy. And I'm going to start shoveling all this stone out of the yard and putting it all in here and kind of fill that level. Because as I mentioned earlier, I think this is here for a reason. It's just work. There's going to be a lot of work here. And I already moved the table out so I can set up working out on the concrete under here. So yeah, I guess that's it. I hope you guys don't feel gypped. I hope you understand. It's just I've been very, very busy since I got here. No time alone. Last night I didn't get to sleep till after midnight, but then I didn't get out of bed till like 9:30. I was out finally. I finally got some sleep. And I suspect that'll happen again tonight. Tomorrow I'll be back to like a normal kind of schedule with my brain and sleeping, and I'll be more productive. It's going to be a thing with family. You know, I'm only here for a short period of time this time. I'm hoping that once I'm relocated here permanently, there's not a lot of me driving and picking people up, and I'm not going to do that. I got too much stuff to do. But it's been kind of crazy here the last couple of days already with it. Anyhow, do I sound like I'm complaining? I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you what it is, you know? What it is. That's it. I got to go. I got to go. I really just wanted to get this out to you guys so you guys had a Sunday night chat. I didn't want to gyp you because a lot of you are here for this. I feel like I owe you an apology a little bit because I'm not sitting down, chill, just talking about life. There's a lot of things that came up. I guess I could share a little bit. This always happens, right? I say I'm going to go and then I talk for another half hour. I just don't have the time right now. But I've been giving a lot of life advice to my nephew. And then I was just at so I have a niece who, she's in her 20s and she's got a baby, just under a year old, 11 months. Beautiful kid, happy kid. I was just at their house and I was talking to her fella. And again, my nephew, I'm telling them, like, just working a job for X amount of money an hour is a thing. Good for you, but learn a trade. Learn a trade. Learn how to do something. Because eventually, someday, you could, especially if you do the sort of stuff I do, eventually you could be more like me and you could be making art pieces for people and getting paid more money than an hourly gig where you're working for somebody else. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody has the mindset. Not everybody has that thing where they can live, because it's a gamble. It's a gamble living that way. I just feel like if I could do it, anybody could do it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I'm special. Maybe I am. I don't know. I'm pretty humble about myself when it comes to that. I'm kind of prideful with my stuff because I know how good it is, because people tell me all the time and they pay me for it. That's a whole separate thing. But there's a lot of this thing of, as a man, as you get older, I didn't know I'd be this guy, but I feel like I owe it to young men to talk to them in this manner. And not that I'm telling them what to do, but I'm giving them options and planting seeds that apparently nobody else is saying to them. You know, you don't have to be locked down to things. You can think outside the box. This life can be yours on your own, doing your own thing, figuring life out. You could do that. If you're happy, truly, just working a job 9 to 5 and getting paid, which is good because you could budget yourself. Maybe there's a retirement. You could do a 401k, all these things. Yes, if you're married, you got a family, that makes a lot more sense as well. But you don't have to be, is all I'm saying. And I only say that because there's a lot of people that do it because they think they have to do it that way, but then they're not happy. And the happiness is the thing. Because if you're not happy, and you don't understand why, but a big part is because you don't really like what you're doing, or the people you're working around all the time, or if you feel like your soul is not being fulfilled. If you've got some 9 to 5 gig that doesn't satisfy your soul, then you can keep that gig as long as you could find something else that nourishes your true being. It's the hippie warrior right now, right? Like a little hippy dippy, but it's the truth. You've got to do something, some sort of hobby, or doing something for others, that usually works. Something that makes you feel good about yourself, feel good as a human being. Doing nice things for others is usually the first step. That's really what this is about, sharing these thoughts with you. For me, that's what I'm doing. It works out good because it helps me out too, so it's nice. We have a symbiotic relationship going on here, all right? And I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And thank you for being here. Be kind to one another. I'll catch you all in the next one. I hope this is okay for you. Before I leave, you're going to get a few more videos. It'll be more exciting. And you know what? Maybe I'll even get my niece on here. I ran into some people last time I was in Tacoma that loved the interview she did with me on a Sunday night chat a couple months ago. So maybe we'll get her on film again, I think, or on the camera. Because she enjoyed it. She's a natural. Good-looking kid, smart kid. So you guys could say hi to her again, Nevaeh, for those of you that don't remember. And once again, that's it for now. I'll catch you in the next one.